What has our favourite Chinese multi-hyphenate artiste been up to this week? Find out on the YIBO Weekly. Well, friends, it's been a slower week. I do have a little bit to talk about, but genuinely there's not a great deal. It's been New Year's holiday, New Year festival in China. Practically everything's been closed. Everybody's back home with family mostly, and there has not been a great deal going on, even in the world of Wang YIBO. But, you know, I'm still here. I've got a couple of things to talk about, so let's get started. Firstly, there were a number of new materials released coming out of the Spring Festival Gala that he performed in with Aaron Kwok, which I talked all about last week, if you missed that one. So the gala itself released a vertical version, a video of the performance, so an edited version for sort of phone viewing. They also released a set of HD photos, which I really appreciate because all I had up until then were grabs from the performance, and he's moving so fast the whole time that everything's blurry. So there are some actual good photos of the performance that came out. Apart from that, YIBO Official a couple of days ago put out a nice little package of rehearsal footage, and I actually whacked that up on my channel as well. So you may have already seen that, but it's very enjoyable. YIBO is, lots of people say they prefer the rehearsal footage. I think they're both wonderful in their own way. Like, the actual performance is always, like, it's a little bit more exciting. My understanding from stuff that I've read on Weibo, lots of people agreed with me actually about the camera work not being great. From what I've learnt, they actually only had one actual rehearsal with the cameras, and so the people who were filming it were the problem. They only had a very kind of drafty kind of view of what it was they were filming, and so they went for the safer shots. For the New Year's Eve performances, he's often performed like with the camera operator, multiple rehearsals, and he didn't get a chance to do that this time, and that's why we had all of the in close out wide stuff, because the camera people simply didn't know what was going on, and so they were going for the safer shots, and they had lots and lots and lots of other acts to deal with, and so I understand that, but that explains that. Anyway, that came out. The rehearsal footage came out. Well, how did I end up talking about that? Anyway, the rehearsal footage came out, and some of the little moments from that is he's wearing his bow necklace throughout all the rehearsals, so that's lovely to know he hasn't lost it yet. He's also doing, like, randomly doing handstands. So yeah, like, I don't know why. There's one point towards the end of that little package that a couple of the other dancers came in and saw him doing handstands, like while they were having a break or whatever. YIBO's doing handstands, and a couple of them trying to join in, but like nobody was holding it quite as stable as YIBO. The other thing, of course, is that he does a handstand, and so his like t-shirt that he's wearing, you know, falls down, and YIBO Official blanked all of that stuff out. But there is this one moment where they put a small one up in the corner, just to show us what we could have seen if they hadn't robbed us. One person I was talking to on Blue Sky has said that the fact that they were so careful on blocking everything reignites the tattoo theory. On Street Dance of China, quite often, you know, in the moments when you could see his waist because he was moving and his clothes became disarrayed, he was wearing a patch, a skin tone patch, and the theory is that there is a covered up tattoo who knows? Who knows? I don't know. We haven't been shown, and so we don't know. Anyway, that came out this week. What else? Vogue did a best dressed of the week, and YIBO was on there. The one that he was on, actually, the normal one came out on Monday as usual, but they actually put out early. They went early with one that was a list just for the Chum one, the Spring Festival Gala, and he was on that one. It was a special edition one, but he was there. Not a great deal else. WILDAID put out an article. It was World Pangolin Day during the year, and they put out an article with a bit of an update about their pangolin work that referenced, in particular, one of the pangolins who was in the doco that YIBO was a part of a couple of years ago. One of the pangolins that had been in the footage in that show had gone like walkabouts. They hadn't seen that pangolin for quite some time, and was away from like the best part of a year or longer, and has now re-emerged. So he's been found. The pangolin's been found. There you go. That's news. Apart from that, there was a whole bunch of hot searches that YIBO was mentioned in. As I said, there wasn't a great deal happening in China generally. So, yeah, people were still talking about the Spring Festival Gala performance. Aaron Kwok appeared at an event. He is a ambassador for horse racing in Hong Kong, and he was at an event that the Hong Kong Jockey Club put on, and was interviewed there and was asked about working with YIBO. And one of the things that he said was that they talked about racing, that was the thing that they had in common, that they talked about. So that made the hot search. Su Yiming, the winter athlete. I'm sorry, he's a is he a snowboarder? I feel like he's a snowboarder, but I also feel like I don't really remember. Anyway, he had previously won a medal, a bronze medal, and he had another event in this week and won gold. And of course, gold is much more exciting than bronze. And there was quite a lot of excitement about that. But one of the hot searches that was on Weibo was that, all these people have congratulated him on his gold, but YIBO was there even when he got bronze. Anyway, people will talk about anything. Yesterday, there was another hot search with YIBO, and somebody had posted a video of doing a rock climbing sort of route in a kind of like in a Beijing Hutong alley, which has sort of cracks in the wall, and he'd kind of like found a way to get up this wall using the free climbing up this wall using all the crevices and cracks. And the hot search that got up was nobody tell Wang YIBO about this alley. So yeah, that, as I said, not a lot is going on. People will talk about anything, but that was a little bit funny, so I'm mentioning it here. But that's really it, and that brings us up to brand stuff. Even for brand stuff, there's not a great deal to share. There were several of the brands put out a bunch of posts with New Year's messages and greetings for the second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day in particular, because the fifth day of the new year is, dedicated to the god of wealth, and so there were lots of posts about that. Super X really pushed the boat out. They have done one every day. So yesterday was the 8th day of the Lunar New Year, and they had done a post for each one of the days up until there. But a number of brands did things. Shu and Mira had some really pretty pictures on the ones that they did. But apart from that, Adolf put a post up for the new solar term, Yu Shui, rainfall, which they had skipped a few solar terms, and I was wondering if that had gone the way of all things. But we're back. We're back for 2026, and the second solar term of the year, with Adolf posting a new picture of YIBO for it, so well done them. Jeans West put out a voice message, which was cute, and they had a nice portrait on another day, which with a New Year theme message. And a bunch of people posted yesterday because it was the first day back at work for most people in China after the New Year break. So a bunch of the brands posted yesterday about that. But apart from that, the really only brand story for the week was HELLY HANSEN put out a set of 4 new photos. Again, it still looks like the photos from maybe that New Zealand photo shoot. He's this time in a purple outfit. It looks wonderful. But that is really all. The one thing I didn't mention when I forgot to mention in my previous part of this is that YIBO Official put out a second video this week, apart from the rehearsal stuff. They also put out some behind the scenes footage of the new Chinese New Year outfit photo shoot. So they'd previously put stuff out for the New Year's Eve outfit photo shoot, but now they put one out for the New Year's Day outfit photo shoot. So we're going to have a look at that as we go out. I hope you're all well. I hope you have a wonderful Wang YIBO Wednesday, and hopefully there'll be a little bit more to talk about when I come back next week.